Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to the Mam Fam channel. As always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. So today is a very lucky day for every single one of you watching this video. Why? Because I'm going to show you how I make my famous red salsa. Everybody in my family loves it. It's a big hit with Martin. He will eat it with various things. That's another thing about this. This salsa is not only red salsa. This salsa can be eaten just alone with chips. It can be eaten with tacos. Everybody loves tacos. It can be also, this is the same salsa I use to make my famous huevos rancheros, which Martin also really loves those. Recipe to come. I will share that with you. I will not be greedy with my recipe, so look forward to that video soon. So yeah guys, I'm excited to show you and share this recipe. Don't forget, if you try this recipe, leave it down in the comments. Let me know how you and your family liked it. So let's get started. So here are my ingredients, and whenever you're going to pick your tomatoes, make sure you get the reddest tomatoes you can find. The redder, the better. So I usually use 4. You can double your recipe, you can triple it, however much you're making it for. No. You can double your recipe, you can triple your recipe. It just depends on how many people you're making it for. Here's a perfect example of what not to buy. You see how this tomato, in compared to all of these other ones, is just a little bit more orange? That's what we don't want. So this one has to sit a little bit more. This one has to sit a little bit more. So here I have 2 serrano peppers and I have a jalapeno pepper. So with these, you can make it, you can add more, you can make it spicier, you can add the jalapenos and the serranos as you please. Be careful with serranos because they come in and out of season, and sometimes they're a lot hotter than what they were before. So just be careful with serranos. You have a lot more wiggle room with jalapenos because they tend to be not as spicy. So it's up to you. Also, be careful whenever you pick jalapenos, because whenever they have a bunch of lines is whenever you can tell how spicy they are. The more lines on it, the spicier they are. I wish I had one to show you, but I don't. You need about 1/4 of an onion for this recipe. You need 2 cloves of garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't add it, but we like it, so that's what we add. Also, you're gonna need some cilantro. You're not gonna need all of it, but I just put it here to show you guys. Okay, so over here I have my cast iron skillet. I use a cast iron because it's able to roast and give all of the vegetables a nice char. So now to add my veggies in, what I usually do is I rip these stems off of the jalapenos so that you don't have to do it later on. So just rip them off. Usually I put gloves on because my hands are really sensitive, whammy, you know. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and add these to my pan. You're gonna hear that little sizzle, and that's what you want. There's really no uniform way to put it in here. Just kind of put it in there and let it roast. Once it's been in the pan for, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes, go ahead and give it a turn, and I'll show you as we're cooking it. Don't forget your garlic. That's probably the best part of this recipe. The cilantro is gonna come later, and so is the onion. We're not gonna roast the onion. We're gonna leave that as is. Okay guys, so it's been about 3.5 minutes. It's time to flip these. You know whenever they're ready to flip because they start to become aromatic and you can smell like the charring of the tomato. You see that? That is perfect and beautiful. That's exactly what we want. We want to get that same char all the way around, including the jalapenos and the serranos. So we're just going to kind of give it a little flip. The garlic are fine. Just char it on both sides, and then we could take the garlic out because that usually gets done pretty quickly. So just leave this on this side for another 3. Sometimes once they start to char, they char a lot faster, so it could only take about a minute and that side will get done. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes and the garlic is pretty much done. You see how it has that beautiful char on both sides. That's exactly what we're looking for, but that's about all we need for the garlic. So I'm going to take that out and put it to the side. Also, I wanted to give you guys a quick tip. Whenever you're roasting the tomatoes, they will begin to peel. The skin of the tomato will begin to come off, and that is okay, but try to leave them alone. Once you flip them, leave them in place because if you continue to mess with them and flip them, they're going to start to fall apart, and all the water and all of the juice from the tomato is going to leak out, and we don't want that. We want to try to keep as much moisture in there as possible, and because that's what's going to make our salsa that consistency that we need. So again, just try not to mess with them too much. Flip them and leave them. Okay, so now these are done. If you see the serranos, they have a beautiful char all the way around. We're going to put those over here by the garlic. These, depending on the size, usually get done pretty quickly. See that beautiful char? That's exactly what we're looking for. Now the jalapeno can go for a little bit more. There's a little spot right there that needs a little bit, so we'll just leave that here. The tomatoes are just about done. As far as the tomatoes, like I said, we want to refrain from flipping them so much just so that they don't lose that water. See, for example, look, that's what's happening over here. It's starting to stick, and the skin over here is starting to peel off, if you can see this correctly. Let me bring this closer to you guys. And once that skin starts to peel off, it's not a bad thing, but like I said, we just don't want to lose all of that juice and water that's inside of the tomato. So I'm gonna leave it on here for a little bit longer. While that's being done, I'm gonna show you guys another trick of mine that will make this salsa the best red salsa you will ever eat in your entire life. Okay, so it's gonna start off by putting all of the ingredients except for the tomatoes inside of the blender. That includes your cilantro, your onion, your garlic, and your serranos. This jalapeno is done, so we're going to go ahead and put this in here as well. What we want to do is we want to get a nice blend on all of these ingredients. Once these are all blended, I'm going to then add the tomatoes and not blend them as much. That way you get that chunky, yummy, delicious salsa that doesn't have huge chunks of jalapeno and onion. We want it to incorporate nicely throughout each bite. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm using a Ninja. Use whatever blender you have. It really doesn't matter. Also with the pan, it doesn't have to be a cast iron, you guys. Use what you have. It's going to still be great regardless. I'm going to give it a quick stop. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to move the onions and stuff around. I'm going to push it a little bit closer to the bottom just to make sure that we have nice small pieces. You don't want to bite into a huge onion, or you might want to, guys. Make it the way you and your family enjoy it. Another thing I forgot to add was I left the seeds in. So that plays a huge role in how spicy your salsa is going to come out to be. But this version is very friendly. It's mild. It's kid friendly. Martin likes it a little bit more spicy, but I like to make mine just friendly, okay? So let's get a look in here and show you guys the consistency on how I get it before I add my tomatoes. Okay, now it's time to add the tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my blender closer to me. That way I don't make a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and add my tomatoes into that delicious blend that I created. Also, like I mentioned before, you guys, you can triple this, double it, quadruple it. Make it to where you have enough for the occasion that you're making this for. So next is an important step. I really like to add chicken bouillon to my salsa. It adds a really good flavor. Or if you don't like chicken bouillon, you can always just use regular salt. Either way, it's going to come out great. So I wouldn't use both because then it's just going to be salty. You know, you want flavor, not salty. So let me show you guys the bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that in there. That's probably about a teaspoon. I don't really measure, so that's what's making this a little bit difficult, but we'll work through it. That's about a teaspoon. So now instead of pureeing this, I don't want to puree it. I'm going to use my pulse option. I'm gonna use my pulse option here on this blender so that I don't puree the tomatoes. I like a chunky salsa, even though I don't like tomatoes, which is really weird. Okay, let's go. Okay, that should be perfect. We're gonna take a look at what it looks like on the inside. Okay. So, that looks beautiful. You see the chunkiness of the tomato and the beautiful green and the little black specks of the charring of the veggies. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be the best salsa you've ever put in your mouth. Ever. It's delicious. But what's salsa without a taste test? Okay guys, so this completes our salsa recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, then you are a real man fammer and you deserve this salsa just as much as I do right now. I'm gonna go ahead and try this and love it and attack it like I always do. Here we go. Yum. Mmm. Mmm. I don't want to double dip. I'm going to get another chip. Don't double dip, get another chip. Mmm. Divine. I'm going to go ahead and continue to eat this off of camera so I don't sit here and torture you anymore, because I know it's pure torture to watch me eat this delicious salsa. So if you like this video and you like recipe videos, then give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and let me know. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know how your family liked it. Just subscribe. We'll be back with another video. Bye guys.